that the white part, which is the yang part, because yang is like from heaven, it's brightness, it's heat, so it's the white color, needs to rise from the left, and yin sinks downward on the right, the dark part of it. Actually, if you want the Taiji symbol to actually symbolize how the universe works, then it has to have yang rising on the left. It does have to do with if you superimpose the 4 seasons, and if you superimpose the 4 main directions, north, east, south, and west on it, the south needs to be at the top, and north needs to be at the bottom. And why? Because heat rises. So south is the hot area when you're in the northern hemisphere, and so heat rises, so south goes on the top of the diagram. When you put in south and north, that means that east has to be on the left and west has to be on the right. And so east is where the sun rises. And from that, then we know that yang, because the sun gives yang, heat and light, the sun is increasing on the east side. On the left-hand side, it reaches a peak in the south at the top. And then, you know, as the sun goes towards the west, you know, the darkness is increasing, so the west is where the sun set, therefore it's increasing yin, and then the bottom north is equivalent to midnight or to the winter solstice, and that's the maximum yin. In addition, it has a couple other aspects which make it brilliant. It's got, you know, this, sometimes we call it a backwards S curve. You know, going through it, it's not just a straight line going through it, and I do think if my European ancestors had designed it, it would just be a straight line. There's good and there's evil, there's right and there's wrong, and that they should just be separate from each other. And that's not the way the ancient Chinese understood it. They understood that yin and yang need each other and interact with each other, and so the backwards S curve represents how they, you know, it's like I'm using my 2 hands to clasp each other. They're clasping each other like that, holding on to each other, interacting with each other as they must for there to be life between heaven and earth. And in addition, it has the little black dot and the little white dot, and that represents how that, you know, in our lives, we don't have pure yang or pure yin. Everything, you know, has some yin and some yang aspects. And in addition, it represents that yin and yang can be subdivided and subdivided, so it's not just 2, but it can become 4 and 8. And so there's a lot packed into the Taiji symbol. And it's just become an important symbol of Chinese culture, East Asian culture, traditional culture. The term Taiji was written about in books that are about 2,300 years old. Very old, the idea. The diagram, though, wasn't designed until the Song Dynasty about 1,000 years ago. But since then, this symbol has been used everywhere, you know, on T-shirts and everywhere. But so few people really have paid attention to you know, how it's a symbol, so it should accurately portray what it's trying to symbolize.